Hello, masters. There are just a couple things today where we're doing some jumps. So if you have any knee or hip or anything like that issues, feel free to just step or do some sort of modification that you feel more comfortable with. But with that said, I'm just gonna dive right in. So first thing, we have burpees. So you're gonna be standing. Make sure you're not under a short ceiling. Okay, make sure you're gonna be standing. Okay, come down, feet down, jump back, jump up, and then jump towards the ceiling. Make sure you don't hit anything. Okay, coming down, jump back, jump forward, jump up. Now, like I said, if you need that modification, okay, instead of jumping, you just put those hands down, step back, step forward, squat up. Okay, so first thing, burpees. Next thing is step over lunges, which I believe we did yesterday, but I thought I would do them again today just so I could have them on video for you. You're gonna pretend like you're stepping over a bench, maybe over a log, whatever you want to visualize. Okay, so we're gonna come up onto one foot, bring that knee as high up as we can, come forward, step. Okay, land a little bit harder than I meant to. You want to try to make sure there's no sound as that foot comes down. Okay, then we're gonna lunge. I'm gonna put that knee down at the bottom, just so I can show you a couple things. So it's front knee. Okay, right now it's a little bit too far forward. I want to pull that back a little bit. You want to make sure it doesn't go any farther, okay, than the middle of your foot right here. It's okay if it goes past your ankle, but this middle of your foot is kind of that cutoff. This back knee, okay, I want just a couple inches off the ground. And when we're in this position, we want to put the pressure into our heel. Okay, put the pressure in our heel and feel it in our glutes. Okay, if we start putting the pressure in our toes, that's when we put the pressure on our knees. Okay, and that's when we can injure ourselves or we leave ourselves open to a much more likely scenario where we would get injured just by doing it over and over again, or we do one and do it a little bit incorrectly and then our knee blows out. Okay, so when we're doing these lunges, I'll come back up. Remember, stepping up, over, foot down, coming down, pressure in my heel, feel it in my glutes, knee a couple inches off the ground. Step up, over, coming down, pressure in my heel, knee, good position, back knee, good position, feel in my glutes, and then step back. And on the way back, don't feel like you have to come up and over, you can just come straight back to that starting position, okay? Last thing, mummy kicks. Mummy kicks, so we're gonna have those arms straight out, crossing right at shoulder level. You're gonna be doing kicks straight out with your feet, just like that, counting every one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 20. We are doing 5 burpees, 10 of those step over lunges, alternating, so that's gonna be 5 on each side, and then 20 mummy kicks. Doing that 4 times, so go ahead and pause the video, do that 4 times, then we'll get to the next thing. Okay, so next thing, we have 5 single leg RDL, or what looks like just a bunch of letters. So what that means, single legs, you're gonna be standing on one leg, just like this, okay? Slight bend in that knee so you can brace yourself. Then you're gonna come down. RDL is just a term for a deadlift. Romanian deadlift, I think is what it stands for. But what you're gonna do, just keep that back flat. We're gonna kick this foot back, kick that foot back, come down, okay? Touch your toe, and then stand back up. Okay? Slight bend in the knee, come down, touch your toe, and then stand back up. If you're having trouble with this, most likely, okay, you're not kicking that foot quite far enough back. You want to really try to get into that T position as you come down. And I'm not quite in the frame there. Something like that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do 5 of those on each leg. Then we have 5 deep squat arm rotation. So this one, I'm not that great at, so everybody Just bear with me here. But this is a great one just to kind of open up our back, open up our hips. Okay, so just do the best you can. You're gonna want your feet a little bit wider than normal for a squat. Okay, then you're gonna come down as far as you can. Okay, whatever's comfortable. I can get to about here. Okay, and you're gonna put, okay, and this is where you kind of have to adjust, put both hands on the ground, and you're gonna take one arm, and these should be in between your knees here. Okay, take one arm, reach up, and then come back down. Okay, other arm, reach up, come back down, and then stand up. Okay, if you're having trouble with that, you can try just coming down to a normal squat. Okay, and then just kind of rotate, and stand up. But if you're able to, you want to try to get a little bit lower, get those hands on the ground. Just while we're doing this, try to keep that chest up. Try not to let that forehead come down towards the ground. Okay, so it's squat, rotate, and then stand up. Okay. And then the next thing, trunk flexion. So again, feet a little bit wider than hip, maybe right about shoulder, a little bit wider than that. Have those arms straight up overhead, and you're just gonna lean to one side. Okay, maybe a slight bend in that knee. Hold on. Got a little bit mixed up there. So yeah, arms straight overhead, slight bend in both knees. Okay, just to brace yourself. That was what I was missing. Okay, gonna lean over to one side. Feel that stretch all the way from here in your hip, through your side here, ribs, up through your lats. Just hold that for a few seconds and then come back up to standing. If you have a towel or a pole, okay, you can hold that in your hands overhead. You want to keep those arms in the same position. Try not to let those hands come close together. Keep those arms nice and far apart. Again, slight bend your knees. As you come over, you can hold that for just about 2 or 3 seconds, just kind of opening things up. We're gonna do 5 of those on each side. Okay, so 5 of the single leg RDLs, or the toe touches. Okay, coming down, touch your toes. Doing 5 on the right and 5 on the left. Then we have 5 of the squat arm rotations, and then 5 trunk flexion. Okay, that'll be 5 on each side, so 10 total. We were doing that 3 times. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and pause the video, do that 3 times, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Okay, so now we have dive bomber push-ups. Dive bomber push-ups. Now, if you don't want to worry about these, or these might be a little bit stressful on your shoulders, you can just do regular push-ups. But the dive bomber push-up is just going to work the top of the shoulders a little bit more, as opposed to the chest and kind of the inside of your shoulders here. So you're going to start in a downward dog position. So hips are up. Okay, you can put a slight bend in your knees if you need to. Just want to have a flat back, just like this. Okay, and then from here you can straighten out your legs a little bit more. Great. If not, don't worry about it. And we're going to dive down. Bring that forehead to the ground, and then push up, okay? And then on our way back, okay, my knees aren't on the ground. Knees are still off the ground. I'm just holding myself. You want to put those knees down, just take a break. In this position, that's fine. Maybe stretch a little bit, go for it. And then from here, okay, knees are off the ground, toes tucked under. You're gonna try to come back through the same way I came, okay? So I'm diving down and through, and then on the way back, trying to come the exact same path that I came through. But that is tricky, so just do the best you can, okay? And again, if you don't want to do those, just do regular push-ups, no big deal. Then 10 slow mountain climbers. So that's just going to be in plank, okay, in plank, good flat back, knee coming up, touch that elbow, and then back. Alternating sides, really making sure you're coming all the way up, touching, getting that last little bit really squeezing in here with those obliques, with those abs, okay? So that's 10 total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. And then we have 10, don't really have a name for this, I just call it kneeling hip mobility. So you're gonna be on your knees, just like this. We're gonna go from this position, trying to stay as straight as we can, just bring that foot around, okay? And then coming back. Notice how I'm kind of coming to the side a little bit. So trying to stay straight up, just using that hip mobility to bring that foot around rather than having to lean to the side. Okay, so from here, boom, and come back down. Okay, so it's 10 total, alternating right and left, all the way up to 10, okay? We are doing that twice. So 3 dive bomber push-ups or regular push-ups, then we have 10 slow mountain climbers, and then 10 of those kneeling hip mobility, 3 rounds. Go ahead and pause the video and we'll do the next thing. All right, so next thing, 5 hip circles in each direction on each leg. 5 hip circles each direction on each leg. So what does that mean? You're gonna be on your hands and knees, okay? Hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. You're gonna lift that knee up and just make as big of a circle as you can, just like that, on the right. And then on the left, okay, going forward. Now we're gonna go backward. Okay, so I'll come to this side so it's a little easier to see. So we're going forward, okay, now we're gonna go backward. Just like this. Again, counting up to 5 on each side. Wanna get those knees making the biggest circles that you can. Again, opening up those hips. And then we're gonna do fire hydrants, 5 fire hydrants. So you're gonna lift that knee up to the side as much as you can, and come back down. Lift that knee up to the side as much as you can, squeezing those glutes into your spine, and then come back down. Okay, we're doing 5 on each leg, so that's 10 total. Okay, and squeeze for about 2 seconds when you're up at the top there. So we're gonna do that 2 times. 5 hip circles, going forward on the right, forward on the left, backward on the right, backward on the left. 5 of each of those, and then 5 fire hydrants on each side, 2 times. So pause the video, do that twice, then we'll go to our last thing. Okay, last thing, 5 scap, shoulder blade, scapula, same thing. So scap push-ups means your shoulder blade, 5 scapula push-ups, and then 5 thread the needle. So the scapula push-ups, different from regular push-ups. I want everyone to do these on their knees to start, okay? As we come down, we're on our knees. We want to make sure those feet are not crossed. They don't have to be far apart like that. They can just be next to each other, but just not crossed. Good flat back, good position. So you can have those elbows slightly bent just to kind of brace yourself. But then from here, instead of a regular push-up, we're gonna pull those shoulder blades apart and then squeeze them together. Pull apart, squeeze together, okay? Doing 5 of those. 5 of those, and then 5 thread the needle. So again, hands and knees, this time hands right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Take your right arm, thread it through. Yes, threading the needle, come down, lean on that arm a little bit, should feel a good stretch back here on your shoulder. And then come all the way through and up, reach for the ceiling. Again, feel that shoulder blade squeeze into your spine, hold it for a couple seconds, and then come back down. And again, stretch for 2 or 3 seconds, and come up, reach for the ceiling, squeeze that shoulder blade into your spine, then again, back down. And you'll do 5 of those on each side. So now going to the left, reach through, good stretch, and then coming up, reaching for the ceiling. Okay, doing that 3 times, 5 of the scapula push-ups, and then 5 thread the needle on each side. Thank you for coming to the Dryland today, and I will see you tomorrow.